Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of the Leonard Village Council. Today is, I got the wrong agenda in front of me here. Or did I get the wrong date? May the 8th, 2017. I want to welcome everybody. It looks like spring may be here, although they're talking about a freeze tonight, so we'll see. Okay, so I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief invocation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us during this meeting, and that you guide the decisions that we make, and may they be in the best interest of this village. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, do we have a roll call for attendance of the council?
President McDonald?
Here.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Here.
Mr. Amarante?
Here.
Mr. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Kennedy?
Here.
And we'll note for the record that both Clerk Cindy Grosskopf and Treasurer Judy Verse are present. Council has received the minutes of the regular meeting held April 10th. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, a motion to approve the minutes would be in order.
I so move.
Second.
Is there any question on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor of approval of the minutes of April 10th regular village council meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, council has before it a proposed agenda for this evening. With your indulgence, I'd like to ask that you add one more item under new business, and that would be drain cleaning, that being the village drains. Are there any other edits, amendments? If none, a motion to approve the agenda as amended would be in order.
I so move. I'll support.
Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the agenda as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Council has before it the treasurer's report for the month of April. Are there any questions, changes, corrections? If not, a motion to approve and receive and file the report would be in order.
I make a motion we receive and file the treasurer's report.
I'll support.
Do we have a roll call for approval of the treasurer's report?
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Amarante?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Okay. Council also has before it the accounts payable. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections to that, aside from the dates? No, that's okay, you're right, I'm sorry. Looking at the wrong-
It's good, but
I cut mine
it wouldn't
off.
surprise me.
Yeah, sorry,
If I don't
Okay.
forget to change it in the headers, I'm in trouble.
right. Okay, are there any, if there are no questions, changes, or corrections, a motion to pay the bills would be in order in the amount stipulated.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills. In the general, $12,737.36. Major, $13,378.63. Local, $10,318.11. And the mill and park, $0.
Is there
I'll support it.
supported by Mr. Hoffman? there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call, please, to pay the bills?
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Amarante?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to public comment. If there's anybody here that would like to address the council, we ask you to be brief to the point, and you will have an opportunity to address agenda items when they are heard by the council. Would anybody care to address the council? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on then to new business. Judy, did we get any quotes between last Thursday and today, besides the one that's in the packet tonight?
Been upstairs.
Oh, okay. I didn't see anything, but I didn't listen to the messages, so,
I didn't listen either.
yeah.
They're still in there.
Council will find a communication from Paul Subcheck, who is a RAM services coordinator, and it's in regards to making repairs on Rowland Hall. Basically, he came out last Saturday and inspected the hall. And he didn't just inspect the front facade, he went over the entire structure. So this is kind of like a smorgasbord. We can we can do little pieces, or we can do the whole thing. And that is, at this point, based on what we've seen, I would recommend that we repair everything. You will recall that when we did our budget, for this fiscal year, I included extra money for just that purpose. So currently there is about $15,000 in the general fund for Rowland Hall maintenance, which I'm assuming we would use. That's where it would come out of, whatever we decide to do. I have called 2 different masons and masonry companies for estimates. I think I said that, I told the council that last month as well, and still never received anything from them. This gentleman is the only one that actually took the time and put numbers to paper, and it came in at close to the amount where one of the estimates I had received verbally was right around $10,000. So I think it's appropriate for the ballpark. But what I want to point out on this this proposal is that if you read number 4, he mentions being very careful who you choose to do this work. Most masonry companies do not have any experience with historical restoration. He's trained at the International Masonry Institute's Maryland facility, and he's run several jobs which were typically multi-million-dollar restoration projects. So I got a recommendation and found him through Ideal Contractors, which is a large contracting company that does work for GM. So I guess at this point I'd like to ask, are there any questions, or do you want a few more minutes to review this?
I have one. He's got 2 man lifts here. Does he need both of them?
No. If we don't do the whole job, he will get the less expensive one if it's just the south elevation or the front of the hall. But if we elect to have him do all of the repairs, then he'll go with the slightly more expensive one, and we won't need the small one.
Okay.
And
It needs to be done.
and it looks like the capstones were an area where I wasn't aware, but not only do they need to be reset, but he also thinks that it may need some flashing, or what did he call it here? Metal coping. and it'll give the building a much better water seal. But that's not actually included in this price. So I really don't know how to deal with that unless the council wants to give me some leeway on additional cost.
Did he give you any kind of idea what kind of cost that would be verbally?
Well, if you read, no, he didn't, Alex, but what he said was that when the capstones, it would be installing a metal coping, which is just a flashing of some type, I guess. So I don't think the expense is going to be huge. There'll probably be, maybe 100 lineal feet of it that would have to be installed, if you go down the sides and around the building, something like that. But no, I can't even begin to guess what the cost might be. But that's really the only big question mark, as far as I don't have a number for that here.
Well, if you have somebody come back a second time with a man lift, you're going to have all those costs again.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons I'm suggesting that if we were just to do the front facade, we're looking at $3,000 for the work plus $2,350 for we're already up close to $6,000 just to get the front fixed, and he can do he can do the front and do up high, the cracks in that for us for the 10-150.
But it's more to our advantage to do the whole thing at one time, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll go along with that.
So the only question mark then is that whether the council wants to allocate any additional money, give me a maximum number to spend, so that we might be able to get the flashing or the coping put on the parapet stones.
Well,
and the reason I'm kind of going to push that is because that has everything to do with water infiltration, and we don't want water getting in underneath the existing roof as it is.
Do you think if we give you a maximum of 15,000, which was what was budgeted, that we would be...
Boy.
Judy's shaking her head no.
I would,
Well,
Judy's...
15,000 has to include maintenance on this hall for all year, including heat,
Right.
electricity.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
So we would
it's
have to
not-
amend the budget somehow, which we're going to be tight this year. But I'm thinking that if we went as far as 11,000, and if I can get it done, even part of it done for that much, maybe if there's a bad area that really needs it more than any other, we could still get it fixed.
We can always revisit this, right? I mean, once he's doing the job. As far as money is what I'm saying.
Let
he's
me
gonna-
go upstairs for a minute and see what the expense was for the hall last year. I don't have that
Okay.
in front of me, and then we
Okay.
can work in there.
Okay.
Well, he also
We're
does have
talking
$450 under
$850
miscellaneous as
more.
well. He's got power tools, shoring, miscellaneous for $450. I am not exactly sure why we would be buying his power tools or renting his power tools.
Yeah.
But miscellaneous potentially could cover the coping.
Some portion of it, right. That's why I'm thinking that it would be, and I will try and get a number out of him.
Yeah.
But as you read, it says, until he actually gets up on it, he's not sure what he's,
What he's looking at. Yeah.
what he's got to get into to do it, so. But we've been very fortunate as far as the roof on this building goes, knock on wood, that, we haven't had any major problems with it. And this would go a long way towards making sure that the water still doesn't go down through the brick and into the structure itself.
Well, as it goes down into the brick, you're asking for more damages on the fascia.
Yeah.
So we'll give Judy a minute. Are there any other questions? And I guess he's recommending that we don't paint the joints.
That's what it sounds like.
Or anything, so,
Yeah.
Well, that's why you want to get somebody who's experienced in that kind of restoration.
and it would be helpful maybe if you have that masonry
I
formula, if we at least run it by him.
Sure.
And see what be interesting to see what he has to say. It may be what he uses already,
To forward that to Judy?
or me, either one, sure,
Okay.
that'd be great. I think he would be doing most of this work on Fridays and weekends, too.
Did he give you any idea how long it would take him?
No, but 65-foot man lift at $27.50, I'm guessing that's a month's rental,
Okay.
thereabouts. Because they don't come cheap, and
No.
smaller ones go for less than that, but in this case, between the weight of the brick, and it's a two-man bucket, so it's gonna take some strength, so.
Okay.
Sure, thorough.
Boy, this is gonna be here during the Strawberry Festival?
What do you mean?
This dumpster and the man lift and all this other stuff?
No, he'll work around that.
Why, did you see a start time on there, Larry?
No, I was just wondering, I was looking, and depending on how long it takes, if it's gonna take him all summer, he's gonna be here.
Mike said a month.
Yeah, but that's not working every day, that's.
Right, but it's still, you
Right.
wouldn't be picking this up and taking it back, would you?
No, not the man
No,
lift and that, and the dumpster, no.
So, yeah, I will make him aware of the Strawberry Festival. Okay, while we're waiting for Judy, I'll do my president's report if the council will indulge me. There were no Freedom of Information Act requests. Don apparently did some work for Mrs. Thomas, cleaning something up. Or
Yes.
talk to her. So I'm gonna see if we can get an application from her. I'm not sure what her situation is.
What happened, I was told, just because he happened to stop and talk with Dan that morning, is that during that wind, a branch came down and went right through her roof. And I assume she didn't have anybody else to call, so she called him and he came and helped her.
Okay.
Maggie,
Yeah,
she's got two roofs there. She's got a regular roof at just see a peak, and that used to be a flat roof house.
right.
So there's still a flat roof under there, but I don't know
Yeah,
the damage.
I don't know.
But I'm
Well, I'm gonna try and follow up and see if she needs help or if we can give her any help. There's no new ordinance enforcement actions. Oxford Addison Youth Assistance this coming Thursday, they're having their youth recognition night. Judy will be present to represent us. And then the Leonard United Methodist Church agreement is still with the village attorney. I did speak with him about it, and he should be getting it to us shortly, so I hope to have it back before the next meeting. And the same with the codification. He's working on it, but has not incorporated the changes that we requested.
Did the mill get totally secured?
It was resecured, yes.
Okay, because,
They had pried plywood off the building to get inside.
okay,
They've
because
done that before.
So Don went
I'm
around.
gonna go and look again, because the one day I looked, I could have gotten in there.
Oh, really?
And I recognize I'm on the smaller side, but if I could get in there, a child could get in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you learn something, let me know or let Don know.
Okay.
We'll address it. Okay, Judy, any
Okay,
thoughts?
past 2 years, it's cost about $1,700 to maintain the hall.
Each year? 1,700 each year?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we allocate 11,500, that's within the realm of possibility then, assuming that we don't have any major failures somewhere else,
Right.
which would give a $1,000 cushion. Is my math right? Somebody that's good at math?
Pretty close.
About 11%, yeah.
Give or take $10.
So that would be, hopefully cover any additional work to do the coping on the roof.
Well, I'll make a motion that we hire this man to do the work and that we authorize the president to spend up to $11,500
I'll second that.
to include the bid plus
The coping work.
the coping work, yes.
And that will not be, they can't be here during the Strawberry Festival,
Okay.
either before or after, so.
Okay.
Is there any other, is there support for that? Is that you, Larry?
Yeah, I'll support it.
Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call then for authorizing the use of the Roland Hall Maintenance Fund to pay for these repairs?
Mr. Amoranti?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the council received its tri-annual cooperation agreement for the Community Development Block Grant Program. By entering into this agreement, we authorize Oakland County to act as our coordinator for our block grant program. This is a 3-year contract or agreement, goes from 2018 through 2020 inclusive. And it, as best as I could tell, and I spoke with Cindy about it, it looks like it's basically the same exact contract that we've approved in the past. So with that, I would appreciate authorization to sign the contract for the Village of Leonard with the county.
I'll make a motion for you to sign the contract with Oakland County.
I'll second.
Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call on that, please?
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Amoranti?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Okay. Next item is an annual event for us and for the county. This is May of 2017 is Mental Health Awareness Month. They've sent us a resolution supporting mental health and recovery and asked us to join other communities in Oakland County by adopting that resolution. What is the pleasure of the council?
I think we should.
We've been in it before, haven't we?
Yeah, we do it annually, basically.
I make a motion, we adopt the resolution for mental health awareness.
I'll second.
Supported by Mr. Hoffman. Are there any questions on the motion or resolution? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to adopt the Oakland County Mental Health Awareness Month resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. The motion is adopted. Thank you. Another item is the resolution recognizing Pastor Steve Porter from the Leonard Community Church, who is retiring, and there will be a recognition celebration for his 30 years of service held May 20th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Leonard Community Church. But in light of his long service, both to the village and being from the village, the resolution basically states that the Leonard Village Council does hereby declare and resolve, whereas the Village of Leonard wishes to recognize and express appreciation to Pastor Steve Porter for his citizenship and spiritual leadership of the Leonard Community Church within the Village of Leonard for over 30 years. Whereas the Village of Leonard wishes to recognize his contributions of service to the Lord and the village through his demonstration of faith and his involvement in the communities he serves, including special occasions for which he volunteered his time and effort. And whereas the Village of Leonard does reflect the effects of his teaching and does lend its support and encouragement to Pastor Porter for his continued health and happiness. Therefore be it resolved that the Village Council for the Village of Leonard hereby recognizes and congratulates Pastor Steve Porter upon his retirement from active pastoral service for his contributions to the residents of the Village of Leonard and recognize him for his many years as an active and involved citizen of the Village of Leonard, and hereby declares and recognizes his accomplishments in service to the Village of Leonard and its residents and expresses a sincere thank you and best wishes for the future upon this occasion of his retirement. So I would appreciate a motion to adopt the resolution.
So ordered.
Mr. Hoffman?
I'll second it.
Mrs. Sotheby? Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the adoption of the resolution recognizing Pastor Porter, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. And we'll show that as a unanimous adoption. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the local drain cleaning. We had at least one major failure that we're aware of on Whitehead and Division Street. We got an email from the resident, but before that happened, Don had notified me that there was a pretty serious problem. So the answer is we have to figure out what's going on, and we can't do that until some of the water goes down. So the plan is that once things get dry enough, we'll have a jet vac truck come in, and we'll jet out as many drains as we can that day. We usually get it for 8 or 10 hour day. Now the last time we did it it's been 4 or 5 years, maybe longer, and it was about $1,800 a day at that time. Now I don't know if competition means that the price is still in that area or not, but what I'd like to suggest to the council is that we do as we did previously. We make a budget for it, and let us solicit bids and take the best bid within that allocated amount. That way we won't have to take bids and then come back to the council next month and, delay things from moving, assuming that things do dry out between now and then, which I would expect so. So there's currently $2,000 in the general drains in the general fund budget. There's $2,000, and then there's also where am I looking here? Judy, help me out. Drains. I think we have $4,000 in the major account budget for routine maintenance. So I think between the two, we can get the work performed.
Is there any money in local? That's probably going to be a local drain, won't it?
Yeah, there is a little bit. It's not on my spreadsheet because it cut off.
Yeah.
You don't have it in front of you? But it's not going to be that much. I bet you it's less than $1,000.
Oh, for the, okay.
Yeah, for local.
Yeah.
But I think we can transfer money if we need to, between one drain and another. Yes? No? We need a budget amendment, but
Yeah.
if we
that's
have to.
We'll do what we need to do.
Okay. So that said, what is the thinking on a budget for this? It's going to be, pretty much gonna not be less than $1,800. That was the best price we got several years ago. So there's a big question mark as to how much more. I'd asked Don to contact some contractors, and he may have, I just never found out what he found out. So I'd like to...
Oakland County now supposedly takes care of the main drains,
Yes,
but they don't do anything to the interior drains.
right.
I don't think so.
I think you would have to hire them to do that. And in the past, I don't know if they would do it, but it was more expensive with the county.
Now, the drain running behind my place, a lot of trees have fallen in it. So,
County.
that's Oakland County's to
Yeah,
clean that.
I put in a request, probably two years ago to do repairs on the drain north of Elmwood Street. You know, the underground part goes to a catch basin,
Right.
and that catch basin is pretty much plugged up so that the water just builds up and it just takes forever to drain in. Even though it runs pretty steady, it's just that much water. They haven't done anything, and so I sent them I sent pictures this time and another email, and I never did get a response, and I did that through the village. So they're well aware of that problem and haven't done anything. When we pay an assessment for the Clark and the Leonard drain every year.
Yes.
Because they collect money for maintenance fund. But their story is that that money just covers inspections. It doesn't cover much in the way of repairs. So they would like us to, ask them to do the work and then pay them for it, for doing it. And
That isn't the way it
We're
was
paying them
supposed to
every
be.
year.
right.
Correct.
Yeah, so the bottom line is that Don's pretty sure this is a local drain problem because it's running more, it appears to be more north-south than east-west. And at this point, the Clark drain runs the Clark drain runs east-west, and it runs west from Forest Street here that way, to underneath Mike's pole barn, and then out to the ditch. So, and they did scope that 5 or 6 years ago themselves because they were looking for people that were illegally dumping into it, dumping sanitary waste, and they didn't find anything. So, I'm pretty sure it's not the county drain. I think we're talking about a local drain
The
here.
county assesses us on our tax bill for those drains.
Yes, they do.
The village, we used to maintain all of the drains, all of the catch basins.
Right.
We didn't pay any assessment. Now we pay an assessment, what do we get for it?
Exactly what we're getting. Nothing. I'm sure they would argue that they come out and look at it every year, but,
looking at it's not solving the problem.
right.
And looking at it, I don't think would cost what they're assessing us.
I'd say it's been 2 years, maybe 3, that they did that drain. They actually had 4 or 5 young guys with chainsaws going through and clearing out all the stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's at least
the village has adopted the unofficial policy of we don't call the drain commission because the drain commission comes right back to us and wants us to authorize work. We would prefer to have the property owners contact the drain commission and complain because they say we don't get any complaints unless it's from you, so you're responsible. So
Okay, well, we're talking about drains, just for the record, I know it's a county drain. There has been water twice over Porter Lane this year.
right. Which is That's a little low, isn't it? Isn't it usually more than that, or no? And I'm not making light of it, I
No,
just mean it's,
there's a big blockage in that drain that runs behind Zelnox.
yeah.
There's a tree that's
Yeah.
almost blocked that drain completely.
That's the same drain that's behind me.
Right.
Yeah, I walked that last year, so this is a more recent,
Well, no, there was one that was last year that almost blocked it.
well, I walked it with the engineer last year, and
I have-
that portion.
But Lori said there's a big tree down.
Well, we need, I'm surprised, I wouldn't be surprised if Lori hasn't already
Oh,
called them.
Lori has.
Yeah, so,
Because her yard floods something horrible, but.
it probably
again,
won't be
it's
as
that low
bad
spot.
now.
And everything west of town dumps into it.
Right. Okay, so kind of full circle now. How much does the council want to allocate for us to attempt to get the drains pumped out, cleaned?
2,000?
I'm willing to try for 2,000. And if it's not, I'll be back next month and I'll let you know.
Or sooner.
I'm not sure how much the residents will appreciate the delay, but we'll do what we have to do, you know.
But doesn't the major have 4,000 in it?
Yeah,
Why don't we allocate more than 2,000 then so that hopefully the drain can get fixed?
yeah. I would,
I mean, the treasurer will vote for that, even though I don't have a vote.
even though you don't have a vote. So Judy just gave us the go-ahead to spend a little bit more money, is what I'm hearing. So, I would be more comfortable with a little bit more
I would too, since
personally,
it was
because,
2,003 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
gonna
be in
be
that
more.
ballpark.
God, you don't wanna go 3, do you?
No, not unless.
Well, it doesn't mean you don't have to
That's a
spend
Well, you don't
spend.
have to, but I mean, you could go to, if you needed that.
Yeah.
But then it's not leaving you a hell of a lot.
Well, I'd be more comfortable with 2,500 at this point, and if it's,
Yeah.
unless, you know, I really don't know what else to do. We have to clean them out. That's when we find out if there is a tip tile or a broken one. Then we dig in and fix it. So there'll be a little bit more expense there, but that would come out of the,
Doesn't that need a culvert replaced right there at Division and Whitehead?
Division and Whitehead.
Right on the corner.
That's the next street down.
Division and Whitehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a culvert there that needs to be fixed.
I'll ask Don to take a look at it. So how much money you want to authorize?
25?
I'll second that.
So there's a motion by Paul Morani, supported by Mrs. Sotheby, to authorize up to $2,500 to power rod and pump the,
And that's to fix too if they need it, right?
no,
Well, it'd probably be.
we'll be the ones to fix it.
Yeah.
This will clean them, clean out the catch basins, and then Don can get in there and actually do the work. You know, they'll be pumped out and we'll know where the
Well,
problem
if
is.
it's a broken line,
Yeah, if it's broken, they run that high pressure hose in, and when it hits an obstruction and can't go, then they know how far in that line is, and then they just measure down the drain path and they know where to dig. So, and they usually come, as far as I know, they always come at it from two directions when they encounter that situation, so they know if there's more than one or if it's a bigger collapsed area. But it sounded like the water was actually coming up out of the catch basin, so it definitely sounds like a blockage.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I believe that.
Okay, so there's a motion to authorize up to $2,500, moved and supported. So could we have a roll call then? Are there any questions? Hearing none, could we have a roll call then?
President McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Sotheby?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Amoranti?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to old business, Elmwood Street project. I've given waivers to a couple of property owners so that the village can work on the sidewalks along here, along Elmwood Street. We had the grade inspection meeting and everything went pretty much according to plan. It looks like we will try to sell the bonds probably sometime in June for the road construction. And construction should start first part of September, assuming that, we get a good August bid letting response.
Back to school.
Yeah. Just like we did 4th Street, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, private roads amendment, this is just an update. The information has been received from the attorney and from the planner, so it's going back to the planning commission, and they'll be setting a public hearing date on that amendment at their next meeting, and then the following meeting they'll have a public hearing, and then any changes can occur after that.
Good.
All right. See, I don't think I have anything new for the DPW. I did the president's report already, unless everybody wants to hear it over. No? So we'll move on to the trustee and committee reports, that being the Summer Festival Committee. I can report that the road commission, we're all set for closing the streets. No hiccups there.
I just typed up a letter. Did I email it to you?
Today?
No, it was last week. I probably didn't.
Okay.
I have a letter typed up with it. We're going to pass out to everybody on this road, on Division, on West Elmwood, and on Rosie Drive.
Okay.
I got all the street closures listed on there.
Okay.
Pardon?
What's become of the soapbox derby?
That's what I was just going to say. We had 2 sign-up days, and the first day we got all but 6. I think they're going to have 24 cars total.
Holy cow.
Because as they come down, one of them will win. So the other one goes off and that one goes back up. And then they figured with the time limit, they were figuring out the time and everything. They're figuring 24 cars. And we have 6 openings. So
How do you get to be in the opening?
Oh, we had those 2 meetings, but if you're interested, you can just come and pick up the stuff from me.
Okay, yeah.
So there's an application that they have to fill
Yes,
out
there's an
and a liability
application.
waiver.
With the liability, I have to sign, and then we give you the rules. So, yeah, we only have 6. We're trying, everybody on the list is from Leonard School. We didn't want to open it up and go to Oxford unless we had to. So we're waiting until about the middle of June. And then they said they would put it in Oxford.
Okay.
But if we can get everybody from Leonard, we figured that would be the best.
Good, yeah, it's a good first time. You don't want to kind of overdo it, maybe. And that sounds great if you got 20, I'm impressed. 24 cars is a lot of kids. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot
And
of,
like I said, we only have 6 spots open. So, and we figured that if it goes home another time or 2 at Leonard School, that will probably fill those 6 spots. So
Okay.
now, right
So
here,
you're saying there's a total of 30.
24.
So you've got
Yes,
18 people signed up.
oh, you have 18. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have 18, 6 spots open out of 24.
Have you talked to all the people that live up that way that you're gonna be closing that road down?
That's what I just told him, that I have a letter typed up, and it has all the street closings on it,
And what times?
and the times, and then we're gonna pass it out. The festival committee is gonna get together and just pass it out to Leonard Road, East, West, Rosie Drive, and Division.
Yeah, anybody on this side should be made aware of it.
Yeah.
And has anything come from the lawyer yet about responsibility if somebody perchance gets hurt?
Yeah, he's already redone it. He redid the information that we had.
Yeah, so the answer is yes.
Yes.
He reviewed it, made some amendments, and everything's going forward.
And that's what they're signing, is what he amended.
All right.
All right,
Other than that, donations are going out. I think she's sending them out in another week. We have our Texas Hold'em coming up second week of June. That's about it.
okay.
Are we gonna need more help for the DPW for all that?
Well, we're gonna have to put more barrels up and down, but because it's occurring afternoon, I think we'll be okay.
I think he's got other people he could draw.
Yeah, if he gets a couple volunteers.
And they're gonna have, what did he tell me he wants me to find? I think like 40 or 50 bales of straw.
You gonna find those or buy them?
I don't know what we're gonna do.
I don't know.
He has a connection, Kyle has a connection.
Okay.
We're gonna see what we can do. And I think he's planning on putting them, I know he's putting them right before the parking lot, like at the last street there, Whitehead, is it Whitehead? Yeah. He's putting them right there, because that's where he wants them to stop.
Well, we'll still have to put barriers up.
Yeah.
We'll have to put
Right.
barrels up.
Yeah, and then there's another area that he says is kind of goes off, like it's maybe even a drop-off area, up on the hill,
Yeah, that might be
on the
North Street.
south side. Yeah.
Yeah, North Street. Yeah,
He's
it's
putting,
pretty steep.
he wants straw bales there too. So, but he's really good. He'll help Donnie too if he needs.
Okay. Yeah, we just gotta make sure Donnie's ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, moving on to the Cable Commission. Anything new there?
The only thing that they're working on is getting a drone. And they were not going to, they wanted it set aside because they didn't think they were gonna have enough revenue coming in, but a lot of people signed up for charter out here, so now it's back on the table to possibly get a drone. A drone for filming of,
Aerial.
yeah, like they have this Tough Mudder and all this stuff coming, and it will be helpful to have that kind of vision.
Okay. Decorating Committee?
They knew.
Nothing new there. Planning Commission, May 18th, the next meeting. We still have the Leonard Market Site Plan and possibly some master plan work. So you're planning on a meeting, right? Sounds good. Did good. Last one was good. So my compliments. Seriously. Anything you want to mention, or we good?
Do you think that the party store owner will appear and bring new plans, or?
I don't know about bringing new plans. He's been given the minutes and the information that the Planning Commission has received. So he's got an opportunity to review it, and he should respond to them. Whether he chooses to do it at the last minute or get it to you early, it's his call. But I got a feeling that he'll be there. So, or be represented either way.
When's the next meeting?
May 18th. Okay, Pollyant Trail Management Council, our next meeting's May 17th at Oxford Township.
What's going on today? Police had it blocked off
Where?
at the trail.
Really?
At Rochester Road?
At 9:30, they had 2 police cars and they were blocking the trail with lights.
That was a residence.
Oh, it was, okay.
Somebody got hurt? Or was somebody hurt? Or? Okay. Somebody out stopping cars. It shouldn't have been.
No, it was something happened to the residents over there.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I didn't see nothing, but I didn't go out till later.
All right, Main Street, this Thursday is their community recognition ceremony. I'll be attending with my wife and hopefully representing the village adequately.
I'm sure you will.
And then Village Park, there's a mill workday this coming Saturday from 9 to noon. And we're hoping to plant, spread topsoil, put some grass seed down, and clean up the interior a little bit of the mill, and put out the flower pots and do some planting and stuff, so.
Has any work been started on those steps yet?
Ron is supposed to give me a call, but he thinks the scouts might be out there that day, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the steps will be ready by that point. Okay, so, block grant, we all received the report in our packet. NOTA, the meeting's been changed to May 25th, which is a Thursday at Oxford Township. And I think I gave you some bad information. The Pollyant Trail Council meeting is here this month on May 17th. I think I might have said Oxford, but I was wrong. It was the NOTA meeting, so that's May 25th. And then the Historical Study Committee is tomorrow
At 7.
at 7 p.m. here at Rowland Hall. All are welcome. And then finally, the words everybody wants to hear. We got a notification from Oakland County Animal Control Division that they're going to conduct their census this year that requires all dogs aged 4 months and older to have a license. So for those of you that have experienced it before, they come around, go door to door if they suspect the dog is in the area or at the home and they want to check your license. From January until June 1st, the price for a dog license is $7.50 for a dog that's been spayed, neutered, and $15 for a dog that has not been spayed or neutered. Senior citizens 65 and up can purchase a license for $6.75 and $13.50 respectively. However, June 2nd, people who have not purchased the current dog year license are considered delinquent. All dog licenses cost $30 after that date. So I'm reading this so that you cannot claim you're unaware that you needed a dog license. I guess that's what this is all about. So if you have any questions, you can contact the village, but I recommend you contact animal control first. And licenses are generally available at the township offices, but they do run out. So sometimes you have to run down to the animal.
I think you can get them at most vets too, can't you?
Oh, I don't know.
You can if you go to a vet in Oakland County.
Right.
Oh,
If
okay.
you go to a vet in Macomb County, they don't have a.
It says, on June 2nd, animal control census team workers will begin going door to door in various communities and in order to bring the public into compliance with the state law. They will be issued a courtesy citation and given a period of time to comply with the law. Afterwards, animal control officers with special deputy status will be dispatched to issue citations that will require a court appearance to your residents who do not purchase licenses after being advised to do so. Big brother is here.
Been here before.
Okay. Someday we're gonna have to put adjourn on these agendas. So I have no further business before the council. Does anybody else?
Make a motion?
What?
We'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everybody, for attending.